I have created a 5-part how to beat stage fright plan, and this is part 5. We made it to part 5. It's a small miracle. I thought I'd never get it. That's weird, isn't it? This, I think, is the most powerful one. It's the one that's made the most difference to me. Like all magic potions, brew them together and all 5 strategies become more powerful. But this is strategy 5 and I hope it helps you. Okay, let's define the problem. The problem is this. You've been practicing, because you've been doing strategy too, haven't you? And you've been getting better and better and better at the thing that you need to get better at. But then, when you go to a gig, suddenly everything's different. The room's different, the light's different, the people on stage are different, the songs feel different. It's kind of like you've been practicing something, like picking this up and twirling it around on your finger, and you've been practicing that for ages, and you're like, yeah, I can do that. Pretty good at that. Cool. You get to the gig and suddenly you're nervous. You think, what the hell's this? And so you're doing the same thing. I'm still squeezing, but it feels funny now. It feels weird, and it's not as easy, and it's a bit sticky like, and I can still do it, but it's not the same. Bit of a weird example, but you get the idea. Nerves do that to you. When you put yourself out of this space that you're used to practicing in and you go somewhere else, the nerves kick in, it feels different. So, we talked about getting better in the practice room. Now, we're going to talk about getting better at the gig. In other words, you need to practice being nervous. You need to practice being nervous. Now, this sounds a little counterintuitive to most people. You think, well, I'm trying to beat nerves, not get better at them. No. You need to put yourself in that nervous position, and you need to keep doing it until you're not nervous anymore. Let me unpack that a little bit, because it's a little bit more subtle than that might sound. So what's the opposite of somebody that's nervous? It's somebody that's confident, isn't it? What you want to do is walk out on stage and be confident. The next best thing is to look confident, but you really want to feel confident as well. That would be nice, so you didn't have this anxiety making you shake all the time. Okay, well, how do we get confident then? I hear young people at work always being told, oh, you should be more confident. It's ridiculous advice. How can you be more confident? Oh, I'll just flick this switch and everything will be fine. It doesn't work like that. Confidence is something that you build. You build it in tiny little steps. How do we build it? Well, it's easy. We take a small risk. We start in our comfort zone where we know what we're doing. We're on our bike, for example. We're happy on our bike. We go to a ramp and we go to the top of it and we go, ooh. Maybe that ramp's a bit big. We go to a smaller ramp. Okay, maybe that's okay. We take a risk, a small risk. We know it's a small risk. We've seen other people doing it. We've got a helmet on. We know the bike really well, but it's still a small risk. We do the thing, whatever the thing is, and we feel exhilarated because we've succeeded. We feel exhilarated because we did it. We feel exhilarated because it was a success, and that massive hit, I think it's endorphins you get, might be dopamine too, but this massive buzz factor that you get in your head makes you want to do it again. And you keep doing it until it doesn't feel like a big deal anymore. Then you go back to the big ramp and you try something scary again. So by taking these small steps, take a step, repeat it till it's not nerve-wracking anymore. Take another step, repeat it till you're confident. Take another step, repeat. By doing that, you gradually increase the size of your comfort zone and become more and more confident. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to perform a song to someone. Get everything set up. Get it all ready to go. Do some of the tricks from number 4. Last minute calm you downs. Do your warm-up, your ritual, exactly as you normally do. Don't push it. Don't rush it. If anything, do it more slowly. Strategy number 3. Make sure you have stacked the situation in your favour. Do a song that you think is easy. Perform it to somebody that you think will be sympathetic or positive or whatever. Somebody that you're happy to perform to. Do it in your space. My first one was right here. Control as much of it as possible, but do it. Take that tiny risk. Make that risk small. Make it manageable, but do it. Video the whole thing. The warm-up, the performance, and the conversation that ensues afterwards, because no doubt it will. Okay, once you've done that, first of all, give yourself a massive pat on the back, because I'm sure that wasn't easy. Well done, you did it, right? You just performed. You did it. You did the thing you were nervous about. Well done. Realise as well that you've just practiced not just the skill, not just the songs, but you've also practiced performing them while nervous. And if you can get really good at performing them while nervous, you won't need to beat the nerves, because nobody will know you're nervous, because you seem quite confident, because you're comfortable here. You're okay. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm performing. Okay, so that's another nice thing too. The hope is that you will feel exhilarated when you finish, just like we did with the bike ramp. You will feel, yes, I did it. Yes, I can do it. It wasn't that bad. Hopefully you'll feel that way anyway. And it will give you the buzz to think, yeah, I can do it again. Maybe you'll be a bit more confident next time. It might take more than one go. You might need to repeat that exact thing 4 or 5 times before you feel like you're ready for the next step. But if you keep doing it enough, you will do. Now, we could leave the video there, but if you and feel free to, but if you want to supercharge it, stay tuned and I'll show you how you can make those steps a little bit more, a bit bigger each time and a little bit more successful each time. First of all, I told you to video it. Make sure you do that. Maybe you don't do it straight away, but do it at some point. Then watch the video back. Now, this was a massive step for me. This made the biggest difference because I felt awful at the time. I thought it was an absolute disaster, but when I watched the video back, I realised that actually I'd performed quite well. And I thought, that's interesting. It made me a lot more confident for the second time, which I also videoed, and the same thing happened. Now, you might not be so lucky, but that was my experience. If it wasn't for the video, I'm not sure this method would have worked quite as well as it did. Also, when I watched the video, because I'd videoed my warm-ups, I can tell now which warm-ups work and which don't. So I've changed my ritual warm-up so that it's more effective, so that it does the job of making me feel normal again. It's quicker, which is much nicer. I didn't want it to become this big, I need to do something for 2 hours thing. It keeps it really, really snappy. I was also able to see which of my calming down strategies, my strategy 4 stuff, worked the best. So I've been gradually working through those. And this is exciting as the one that seems to work the best, but some others in there too. But you'll also be different. But that's the point. Find them, figure it out. And by watching the video back, you can get a better impression of which ones worked and which ones didn't, because you're too hyped up at the time to really be paying attention to that. After you perform, to whoever these people are, ask them for feedback. Have a conversation with them. Again, that is nerve-wracking in itself sometimes. That can be a difficult conversation. Video it, because you're going to be so hyped up you're not going to remember what they say. Then you can watch their feedback later and you can start to fix some of those problems. Another thing you can do in conjunction with that is think about who you're phoning. In the early stages, you just want to phone somebody that you feel confident to phone. But in the later stages, you can start calling people with specific agendas. Call a singer and they will give you advice about singing. Call a guitarist and they'll talk to you about your guitar playing technique. Talk to teachers and they will communicate with you much more clearly, because that's what they do for a living, about what it is that they think you need to do. Call people that are more critical or more willing to criticise you, that will be, I won't say more honest, because that's, but you know what I mean. People that are going to tell you, that you need to work on this, because you need that. And once you're confident enough to have that conversation, then call them. Don't do any of this stuff before you feel ready. Just take a step, stay there, get confident, take a step, stay there. If you stay confident for too long, you just plateau, as I said before, but you can do it if you keep pushing every now and then. Lastly, take it out of the space that you're in. Go to jam nights, go to open mic nights, busk maybe, whatever it is. Ask to join in with a band that your friend's in for a night. Anything to get you out of your comfort zone will, if it's a success, build your confidence. Video everything, watch it back, realise it's okay, make a list of things you need to fix and push yourself forward. As I said, this was the biggest strategy for me. This made a massive difference very, very quickly. It was hard, I'm not going to lie to you. The first time, second time, even the third, fourth, fifth times were really nerve-wracking. But now I feel much better. I'm much more confident with it. And I'm ready for my next thing. Hopefully the lockdown will be lifting in a month or two and I'll be out there at an open mic night. And I'm probably going to feel really nervous again. I'm going to choke up. But this is the last final thought. I now know that if I just do it a few times, I'll relax. It will be all right. I am confident from watching those videos that I can do it. And once you know you can do it, once you know you can do it, you've cracked it. Alright, good luck. If you've got any comments on this video or any of the rest of the series, please let me know. Please try them and let me know how they get on. I'm sure this method will work for you, but you might be able to suggest some great refinements. Please do so. I want to use them too. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again.